From our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Hubar begins now.
It's day 3 on the campaign trail, with the major parties zeroing in on health and infrastructure. Both Liberal and Labor leaders are spruiking their plans for change, while a crossbench MP jumps ship.
Day 3 of the campaign and the promises are piling up. The Liberals pledging to ease pressure on hospitals and GPs by upskilling pharmacists and keeping pharmacies
open for longer. We've got investment in our budget for training, which includes a $5 million investment. The extended after-hours care is $125,000.
Tasmanian patients also deserve to have access to the full range of health services that are available in other jurisdictions.
But the Australian Medical Association has slammed the move as dangerous, saying the Premier is blurring the lines between the role of a doctor and the role of a pharmacist.
No communication, no investigation, no follow-up, and the diagnosis is often missed. This is not the way the patients should be getting their health care.
Meanwhile, Labor leader Dean Winters vowing to crack down on major project blowouts with a new infrastructure task force.
That's to make sure that they're scoped out correctly, they're costed up correctly, and most importantly, they're actually delivered.
The Greens are demanding the government scraps its efficiency and productivity unit, warning it'll lead to job cuts.
It is a misguided approach that they have imported from Trump and implemented a Tasmanian Doge model.
This is not about cuts, this is about ensuring that we can deliver better services for Tasmanians in the most efficient way.
And there's been a shake-up on the crossbench. Jackie Lambie Network MP Andrew Jenner jumping ship, announcing he's now running for the Nationals.
Well, I think what they do is they move the centre of focus away from towns and move it out to the areas that have been neglected for so long.
With voting day just weeks away, every promise and every move is under the spotlight. Lily Thompson, 7 Tasmania News.
Friday night footy has hit fever pitch, with the largest crowd in 6 years packing stands for the Hawks-Crows AFL clash. The full house has ignited another fiery debate in the stadium stoush, with coaches and commentators weighing in.
A bumper night at Utah's stadium, 15,000 people packing the stands for Friday night under lights in Launceston. Hawthorn and the Adelaide Crows in a low-scoring slog, the Hawks flying high with a 3-point victory. But it was a nighttime contest some believe the AFL scheduled on purpose, reinforcing the need for a roof on Macquarie Point Stadium. Last night's chill stirring up more stadium talk. Coaches and commentators chiming in on the contentious debate, some claiming open air conditions are a factor affecting performance.
A low-scoring game, pretty scrappy, goal kicking all over the shop. Did that have something to do with the conditions of a roofless stadium in Tassie?
It was a wet weather game of football. There were marks dropped that usually would be taken. So that element for me tidies up the footy. We get more score on the board. We get a more entertaining product. Therefore, more people want to watch it and come to it.
Hawthorn coach Sam Mitchell playing down concerns around the quality of the game.
Even though it was not a big high scoring, I don't think too many people turn the TV off. To me, that was a game that you want to watch all the way to the end.
Adelaide's coach Matthew Nix reaffirming wet conditions are challenging, but says the final score didn't come down to the weather.
No doubt it was a slippery, wet game. In the end, we just didn't take our opportunities, so scoreboard pressure, we didn't add any.
No sympathy from the Premier.
They're, tough enough and professional enough and skilled enough to play in any condition.
Others questioning if the stadium is even needed, claiming the ones we have are already sufficient.
It was fantastic, and it's that community enthusiasm which absolutely proves that York Park is a fantastic ground to have our AFL games at.
Rebecca Gaidaneris at 7 Tasmania News.
A footy fan has been arrested after drunkenly storming the pitch at last night's Hawthorn and Crows match at Utah Stadium. The 42-year-old Launceston man allegedly ran onto the field after the final siren. 2 security guards tried to intercept the man but were reportedly assaulted. The man has been charged with trespass and assault and will front court at a later date. And a small amount of illicit drugs have been found at a public toilet in Hobart. The discovery was made by locals in the women's toilet block at Cornelian Bay. Police say there were no offenders at the scene when they arrived yesterday morning. Investigations are still underway. One of Tasmania's most promising para-swimmers is heading to the Australian Institute of Sport camp, among a handful chosen to train with the country's best. 20-year-old Riley Sue proving anything is possible, even when faced with the toughest of circumstances.
It has been a triumph against the odds since Riley was born. He suffered a heart attack 10 minutes after birth, not expected to survive.
It was probably one of the hardest times of my life.
He spent 2 months in a neonatal intensive care unit having his brain monitored. He was described as a little spirited battler.
He's meant to be here for a reason and do something very special with his life.
And that he is, the now 20-year-old is preparing to rub shoulders with the country's top swimmers at the Australian Institute of Sport's swimming para camp.
I just feel amazing, to be honest. First time, I don't know what to expect. I'm just going to try my best.
He's one of 11 swimmers selected across the country to train at the camp, and he knows what's at stake.
It's going to be hard. I will say it's going to be really hard, but I am so looking forward to it. I'm hungry and I really want to get more into it.
Riley can pick up a few ideas, a few skills, just a few little things, because he's so close now to making that next jump up to that really high international level.
Great start there from Sue in lane 5.
Riley's recent success at swimming Australia's Open National Championships and Launceston's Special Olympics showcasing his promising potential. He won gold in the 100-metre freestyle and butterfly and a bronze in the team relay.
I'm incredibly proud of everything Riley's been able to achieve.
And he's showing no signs of slowing down, with his sights set on big things.
I'm hoping to represent Australia in the Olympics one day, hopefully.
Rebecca Gadaneris, 7 Tasmania News.
It was billed as a grand final preview. Former TSL heavyweights Launceston and North Launceston going head-to-head in the NTFA. But it was the Bombers who emerged victorious, while there were wipeouts across the board in the Women's League.
The Blues and the Bombers, a fierce rivalry reignited in the NTFA.
Good tackle, a really good tackle over the footy.
North Launceston hasn't lost a game since 2023, and they're not slowing down, powering to a 15-point win over their northern rivals.
Bottom of the pack, Declan Chug. I think he's kicked it. He has.
But in the women's match, it was a different story, where the scoreboard wasn't the only thing hard to watch.
If you are tuning in and looking at your screen, don't be alarmed. The cameraman hasn't left the camera cover on the camera.
Thick fog blanketing Windsor Park. But when it lifted, there was no escaping the damage. Launceston thumping North Launceston by 112 points, keeping the Bombers scoreless.
It's easy to put your cue in the rack and drop your head, but they're playing like it's 0-0. And that again, if I'm North Launceston coach, that's just a positive I'm taking out of today.
In the SFL, the Demons' men's side fell short against an informed Lauderdale outfit. But in the women's, the D's were ruthless, thrashing the Southern Bombers by 118 points and holding them to just one behind for the entire match. On the northwest coast, Wynyard edged out Penguin, using home ground advantage to full effect.
Little slap-on attempt from Morrison, and this might result in a goal.
And in the women's match, Penguin flipped the script, clawing their way onto the winners list with a strong 31-point victory. Lily Thompson, 7 Tasmania News.
There's no signs of slowing Mitch Owen down. In his American Major League Cricket debut, the Hurricanes hero made 39 runs off 20 balls for Ricky Ponting's Washington Freedom. The 23-year-old didn't stop there. His bowling figures impressing on debut, taking 1 for 33 over 3 overs. Tasmanian paddler Kate Edgard has done us proud on the national stage at the Slalom World Cup 2 in France. The 27-year-old was the only Aussie to make the women's kayak final. She held a brief lead after her run, which incurred a 2-second gate touch penalty, but placed 5th overall.
Let's have a look. It's going to be close. Yes, she's moved into the top position. Wow.
Golden Girls Jess and Naomi Fox both missed out in the qualifying heats.
Good evening. It was 14 in Hobart and Devonport today, 13 in Launceston and 15 in Burnie. Flinders Island, Smithton, Low Head, St Helens and Friendly Beaches all 15 too, 14 in Grove and Strawn, King Island 13, 10 in Ouse and just 6 in Lyoweni. Patchy low cloud moved over the north today, while high cloud is seen across the northwest. Mid-level cloud hovered over southeastern SA and parts of WA today. Tomorrow, a cold front will pass southern WA as the trough moves to the southeast of South Australia. North-northwesterly winds increasing to 30 knots in western and southern waters. West-southwesterly swells are on the increase to 3 metres. A strong wind warning has been issued for coastal waters tomorrow between southeast Cape to Stanley. Sunny in Hobart tomorrow, 14 degrees, a morning frost in Richmond, but warming to 15. Later, very similar conditions in Ouse, -4 overnight with 14 the high tomorrow. Launceston partly cloudy, 15, a few showers in Devonport, 14, 13 and a shower or 2 in Deloraine. Increasing showers in Burnie, 14, a fine day in Strawn, 15, 15 also in Curry with increasing showers there. Mostly sunny towards the east, St Helens and Whitemark both 15 and 16 the maximum for Swansea. Showers and possible thunderstorms are likely about the north on Monday, perhaps extending to the west in the afternoon. A foggy inland start on Thursday, followed by showers about the north and also the west. And on Wednesday, showers about the west, far south and Bass Strait Islands, extending further south later. To mainland conditions now for tomorrow as we welcome Sunday. 22 and sunny in Brisbane, some showers in Canberra, 11 degrees, 14 and partly cloudy in Melbourne, Darwin rounding out with a lovely 30 degrees. Partly cloudy in Hobart, 9 degrees. It's 9 also in Launceston and 10 in Devonport. Fine conditions expected for the final day of the Winter Feast in Hobart tomorrow, Lou.
And that is all your news for this Saturday. Thank you for joining us. I'll be with you tomorrow. Good night.